Well, hopefully, with any second, we'll be going live. Yes, I think it's working. Never in doubt. Told you, didn't I, everybody? Welcome back to Gooner Gathering. I am the fortune teller himself. I am Gooner Lee Meadows, joined by a somewhat stunned Sam Wilson. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, it's I'm
Again, we'll put the link in to donate for his Wi-Fi.
So it's not very often that I'm completely lost for words, as many people will know. But now's one of these moments. Before we went live, I said I keep pinching myself to see that if this isn't some sort of cruel dream, and this is actually really happening. But thankfully, it looks like that it's not a cool dream, and it did just actually happen.
I mean, I'll just double check my phone if you like. I mean, I'm not completely sure myself, to be honest, but I'm not surprised because I called it, Sam. You're right, Amy. Amy, are you okay? Where's your people subscribed to? That's right.
I've got to keep this. I've got to keep this like Arsenal top on because we've won once against Real Madrid, and we won again against Real Madrid.
Come on.
I also did watch the game on a Spanish stream, so I did pull the.
No, you didn't. It was all completely legal.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
on a Spanish stream at all.
No. If you hear a bang on the microphone, you might have a guess who it might have been. She's been my little angel who's been as good as gold. Haven't you? Have you been good today?
Please.
Please. Are you going to let me present my show? You just get your comfortable. So we lined up as we spoke about in the post or pre-show. How good did Saka look tonight? Absolutely incredible. Even the first half when it was still goalless, I thought he was miles ahead in terms of how we were playing in the first half. Views on Saka, please. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. All is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Saka.
She's scaring the hell out of me right now. You just wanted to jump on me, did you? Have you ever heard of You've Been Framed? Can you let Sam talk? There we go, mute.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure, to be honest. I'm trying to find the words for that performance, to be honest. I'm wondering where that has been all season, that mentality and that spirit. I'm wondering what Declan Rice did to practice free kicks over the last few days. I'm also wondering lots of different things. Where was Kylian Mbappe? Did he fly to London, or did he say in Spain? Yeah, it's one of those things. It's
Amy, are you happy about it? Yeah. You're going to make this hard work for me, aren't you? Yeah, I know. Amy, we're on YouTube, mate. We're live. People can see us. Amy, are you happy?
Granted, I'm not blessed with lots of money, but if you told me to put my life existence on Arsenal winning 3-0 against Real Madrid this evening.
Well, I hope someone did, because I predicted it, Sam.
Yeah. I would have put everything that I own on the line that we would not have beat Real Madrid 3-0 at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And current circumstances. So the fact
All right.
I don't want to get too excited because, yes, it's just half time. I want to say it.
Yeah. I mean, I have a few notes, and I'm going to try and read them as well if I can. Princess. I'm trying to be a professional broadcaster here. So I felt, oh, Amy, get off. I'm going to be clipped here, sweetie. No. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but she's had a lovely day with me. I can't complain. Bless her. I mean, she's shy. Can you tell? No. I want to talk about a couple of the chances in the first half. Saka had a corner. I believe came off Thomas Partey and then sort of almost deflected off the line by William Saliba. We could have been one up quite early. Help.
Okay.
This is where I can't help with that bit because I was
That's helpful.
Switching between a couple of different streams. So I can't help with that one. I don't know if you want.
This is where you're supposed to analyse it, Sam.
I don't know if you want to take a picture of the list, and I'll go through the list.
It's okay. I'm good. I'm good. Did you see the effort that? Amy, I'm trying to read, mate. Crying out. There was another set play that we were causing them problems with all the way through the first half, and Thomas Partey had received the ball. I think it might have been Rice to cut it back, although I can't be sure. Partey had another shot that was saved by Courtois, the returning goalkeeper.
Yeah,
that was them two incidents happened in the first 20 minutes. Amy, you're making this very difficult, mate. We're happy. Join in the party, everyone. Leave a comment and subscribe. Help. If anyone wants to join in the stream as well, we'll open it up if you like, because I'm finding this very difficult. Vinicius Junior had a shot that, I mean, there were glimpses of Madrid actually as an attacking force, and when we lost possession, their first move was to go forward, and they were very quick on their counter attack, and they could have very easily scored before the break.
Mm-hmm. Mbappe should have done better. To be fair, I think in that he had a lot of time and I can't know where I was going there. So in the first half, we
just say hello to Mrs. M, who's just joined us. Thank goodness.
Hello.
Hey, how was work, darling? Was it? I'm live on YouTube right now, and she's jumping on me. Just to say hello, Russ, who's back in the chat. I can't put your comment up, but we'll take that result all day long, wouldn't we? I mean, as I said, people should listen to me when I make these predictions.
I wish I had.
Yeah.
I wish I had, because I imagine the price on it would have been quite
good. Yeah. I can't even see my pen of paper, Amy. Oh my goodness. Right.
Oh, you can send links. Spencer's coming in.
Oh my goodness me. Do you know who else is here? Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring to the stage, for the first time in months, hello, Pod.
Hello, my friend, we meet again. Oh, hello. It's been
How are you, mate?
Feels like forever. There you go. That's my singing for
you. That's beautiful.
Hello, Lee. Hello, Amy. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Say hello, Posh. I think Amy's drunk.
But
she's too much apple juice.
No. Fruit shoots, mate.
Oh yes, the standard stuff. Excellent.
Exactly. Amy, she's just jumped on me and giggling. It's hilarious. Oh dear. She can't believe what she's seen.
Like her at the moment.
Yes.
I know. I mean, I haven't seen you so happy in blooming months, mate. Especially, I mean, do you want to refer to your tweet, mate?
What?
You know, if when Arsenal lose today.
Oh, I thought you meant how Madrid will treat us like how Bron Breakker speared Carlito.
I saw that as well. Goodness me, he was broken in half.
That treated Madrid like that.
It certainly was, wasn't it? And I mean, even Shearer on commentary was saying no one had predicted it. Go back and look at the clip, mate. I did.
I know.
Do you know what I say, mate?
He's not a watcher.
Never in doubt.
Yeah, he did say that. Oh, Christ almighty. Look, we can talk about if 3-0 is enough for us to go into the Bernabeu and see us through the semi-finals. But for the moment, let's enjoy tonight. Enjoy the fact that the posh one is back on the channel, and enjoy the fact that we absolutely thrashed Real Madrid 3-0 with 2 absolutely stunning free kicks from Declan Rice.
Identical as well, more or less. I tell you what, Posh, if you can really help me out, mate.
Yeah.
And you describe the action for them 2 free kicks, please. I've rather got my hands full at the moment, and I can't really be as professional as I'd like right now.
Oh, well, she's to be honest, Amy is acting like a lot of Arsenal fans at the moment, so I can see I can totally understand. Yeah, so should I talk about the first goal? Okay, so keep in mind that we have not scored a free kick since September, or direct free kick anyway, since September of 2021, when it was Odegaard versus Burnley. And so I kind of expected, we got a free kick. So, you know how it's going to happen. And suddenly, Declan Rice, from out of nowhere, scored a absolutely superb free kick. And all of a sudden, it's Arsenal 1, Real Madrid 0. And we were in front. I was absolutely overjoyed by that. And for those football fans of a certain vintage who remember David Beckham's free kick against Greece to qualify us for the 2002 World Cup, I believe. Maybe later than that, I don't know. But it was on the lines of that. But then there was another free kick that was better, wasn't it, Mr. Meadows? And hello, Mrs. Meadows, by the way. I saw a cameo there.
Thank you very much, Posh. Well, I mean, we've spoken about the Beckham versus Greece. Well, I think we've got the Roberto Carlos against France. Before I do anything else, I'm going to bring in another guest, also making his return to Gooner Gathering. As I can see it, and I can press the button, or I'll try to. Spencer is in the lobby. Hopefully, he'll appear on the screen.
Yep,
he is. Here. I can see him and his green hoodie.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What's going on, gents?
Hello. It's nice to see you, mate. How you been? You all right?
Yeah. Things have kind of changed over here, and I'm in the office 5 days a week, but I still catch up with you guys when I can. So, but what a night!
What a lovely little reunion stream. This is lovely.
It is. It is.
I know. More surprise returns than both Royal Rumbles this year combined.
It's almost
very, very nicely put. So,
yeah.
I mean, we were just discussing the second goal, the Roberto Carlos one. Do you want to give me your thoughts on it, Spencer, please, mate?
I just, the first free kick went in, and I was excited, and the second, I didn't believe it, right? Hey, I mean, those are world-class free kicks. This game could have been 6-7-8-0, man. Like, Courtois just really saved them more than I know the scoreline doesn't really give him a lot of graces, but my gosh, like there was that one sequence there, I think, between the free kicks where he had 3 really good saves. I think one of them was the defender, but it was I think Posh said it perfectly. You hadn't made a free kick since Burnley, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Odegaard against Burnley.
Yeah, so
21.
I mean, look, we've been known to set pieces all year, but we really haven't seen those. So if that's another added arsenal, man, like Look, knockout football is kind of like this, man. Like you could play bad, so I don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but we do have to go do the job at the Bernabeu. This really doesn't mean much. I mean, it really doesn't.
Well, we'll see about that.
I get your point.
Yeah.
If Madrid go 2-0 up at half-time, before half-time, then it does mean a lot.
There he is.
Oh, listen. I mean, I think 3 is probably going to be enough based on the way we defend, but I am worried about next week. If there's anybody that can erase a 3-0 lead over you, so. But yeah, I mean,
I'd add to it. They're going to be open. They're going to come at us all going to plays and leave all sorts of gaps. Maybe putting Martinelli up front next week's not a bad shout, eh?
Yeah, I'm hoping nobody today was actually injured. It was kind of like, hey, I'm spent. I've done my 70 minutes. Let's go. Like Timber leaving late, I wasn't too worried about. I think Rice got stamped on. Does it look like? I think it looked like someone got him in like the ankle. It looked like he had a little bit of blood spot there, maybe.
I know he was down for a bit in the last few minutes, but I think in terms of fouls, I know. Well, Camavinga got a second yellow card for kicking the ball away, which sounds quite familiar.
Yeah. I think Saka was going to get pulled at the 70th minute anyway. I think that was by design.
Yeah, when he was down, I was quite nervous, but it was actually a sensible substitution.
Yeah.
Lee,
it looked all right at the end.
Yeah. If me, Sam, or Spencer are talking, Amy's lovely, but make sure you mute your mic when me, Spencer, and Sam are talking.
I'm trying, mate. I'm bloody trying.
It's all good. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not too worried about. We'll find out, later this week, right? It's going on, Sam. It's good to see you.
How are you?
I'm doing well, man. They were good subs. But yeah, I'll let you go more, Posh, on that if you want to talk. I mean, it's. Those 2 goals were just world class, man. They were just beautiful. I lost my voice. My voice is gone. I've got to do another pod here in about a couple hours. So good luck.
Yeah, I think both free kicks were absolutely amazing, and this may have been a bit of a overreactive reaction on my Instagram, but I said if, and it's still a big if we somehow win the Champions League, give that midfielder a statue, because his 2 free kicks, just that they were unbelievable. Again, I'm lost for words. We actually had a player that turned up when it actually mattered and scored 2 incredible free kicks. What a player! And like I said, £105 million bargain, absolute bargain for Declan Rice. And like I said, if we win the Champions League, give him a statue. But like I said, with the kind of team that would beat Real Madrid, but maybe in the semis lose to Villa, you know what we're like. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Oh, I genuinely think we've got a chance. We have a chance. If we can get past Real Madrid, we have a chance. If we can somehow manage it, we have some sort of chance, because we've beaten a team that has won the Champions League as easy as us counting to 1, 2, 3. Like they are the team in the Champions League that nobody would want to face. Not saying that we're not that team by a long shot, but they're the teams that have left that everybody would say that's my biggest avoid.
No, yeah, I completely understand. And Gunnerly Mead says in the private chat that free kicks for Arsenal are like London buses, as in you wait ages for one and then 2 come at once. So yes, very nice, Mr. Meadows. But look, what a achievement for us, and it's a very solid lead going into the Bernabeu for the second leg. But as I mentioned, and I'm not trying to be negative Nancy here, but if there's any team that can overturn a significant lead in their home ground, it is Real Madrid, because there's going to be more Madrid fans than there are Arsenal fans. No matter what the result, the atmosphere will be electric there. And look, at the moment, we've got a big advantage, but I'm just being cautious. If Madrid go 2-0 up before half-time, then we've got our work cut out. So I'm not ruling that out, but at the moment, I'm so pleased we're going into the Bernabeu with a 3-0 lead. I'd rather that than a 1-1 draw, say.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, it's like I said to Lee earlier on, I'm not blessed with massive amounts of money, but if Lee had said to me, what would you put on us winning 3-0? I'd have gone, there's nothing you can put on that would make that happen. Like, it just wouldn't have happened. But somehow we sit here and we're 3-0 up. Yes, like I said, it's half time. It is half time if you think about it like that. It's another 90 minutes of football that, yes, we're better off being 3-0 up than we are 2-0 down. But at the same time, it's still going to be hard work.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think Posh is like off base by being kind of cautious about it. Like, and I'm normally Mr. Positive about a lot of these things, or analytical with how I look at everything. But the Champions League has really kind of been friendly to Arsenal this year, and I don't know if it's based on the teams we're playing or the quality. Like, we suit more of a wide open style of play, where, you know, if a team sits back behind the ball and makes us try to break them down, we're just not really built for that. But if we get ourselves a team that wants, like today's game was like a ping pong match for at least the first 20 minutes. And I think that plays into Arsenal's strengths. Getting Saka back at the right time. I mean, to me at this point, the getting top four is the goal, and then trying to win the Champions League. That's the reality. Everything should be about winning this Champions League. And if you, I mean, you know, like 3-0 up going to their spot, you know, it's about as good as you could have wrote it. I wouldn't have gambled on it, Sam. You're not. I wouldn't have put any money on it. And, you know, just given the way this year is going, but we've been really good in Europe this year, and, you know, we've been draw FC in the Premier League. That's been our problem. But I mean, this is about as good as you get. The game's next week, right? If I'm not mistaken. So we're not looking at it. Okay, so I don't know how you guys feel about Brentford. I don't know how you guys feel about Brentford this weekend. I'm not really worried about it. Just get through this and get us to the semifinal and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Play the 21s, all 11 of them. Play the 21s. All 11 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it was quite telling, wasn't it? I felt on Saturday when we made so many changes to the Everton game, with obviously tonight in mind, and clearly that actually worked very well. I mean, we've got a third goal to talk about as well. I don't know if Posh is going to be able to rejoin or not. I mean, this is full of everything going very well. There you go. Okay. In the words of Mr. Cena, I can't see him.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully this just.
Can the lads see you? I can see you now.
I can see everyone.
I can see clearly now. Right. We've got another goal to talk about, and there's a point I made on the pre-show that had Mikel Arteta spent £30 million on a striker in January for someone who came into the side and scored as many goals as Mourinho had done, people will be calling him a genius.
Mourinho's not a striker, though. We've said this. He
scored.
Great.
He's turned into a great one.
Good. Will you have him as your first choice striker next season then?
Yes, completely. Oh, mind you, he's got to fight against Kai, and so it's difficult.
I'm so glad you're not the manager. But no, in fairness, it was a fantastic goal from Mikel Merino, and we were 3-0 up. It was actually a normal goal as opposed to a set piece, so that's very nice. And yeah, fair play to Merino. A decent amount of goals actually ever since he switched to the makeshift number 9 role, so you do have to give him credit there. But yeah, fair play to him. And we were 3-0 up against Real Madrid, and I was in absolute dreamland, fair to say.
It was somewhat surreal, I thought. It was like, you know, I mean, there's certain things I say on the channel which I might, I might exaggerate a little bit. You might have noticed. I mean,
I could tell.
We all have to have the gift of candor.
Exactly. I don't necessarily mean everything I say on camera, but it's nice when things work out well.
So you didn't mean when you said that Nketiah was a good striker, then?
For argument's sake, wasn't it?
I mean, we sure could have
the
used
last
Nketiah
time we
this year,
spoke
though.
about Nketiah, I still wear the scars.
Oh yes,
Hello, Noel.
I remember that.
Hello, Noel. Absolutely, it was a good time. Poor old Eddie got sent off, didn't he, the other day?
One of my favorite chants was the fans singing "Are you Tottenham in disguise?"
Yes, when
on the commentary, it was amazing.
The football banter knows that there's no like exemptions from it. 15 Champions League, you can still get some good chance when you're getting your butt beat.
When we were like Olaying, when we were passing around, and I just thought, whenever am I going to get this chance again to be watching Real Madrid getting beat 3-0 by Arsenal?
So, Sam, I would agree with you on that, and I just want to kind of bring this up. Like, I know a lot of people in our community, and they're kind of obsessed with the trophies, and I'm not saying it doesn't matter. That's obviously why you play the game, but you just said it right there. Like, that was a moment you're going to remember, and like, it's the destination matters, and not to channel Mikel with his destination journey discussion with Lacazette, but the journey matters. Like, you have to. I was sitting there texting my buddy who lives down the street, and I was like, "Hey, man, where does this rank on yours?" And it's in his top 5. Like for me, Bournemouth a couple of years ago with the walk-off with Reece Nelson. I mean, the FA Cup final in 2020. This is gonna go into those top 5 for me for my time watching this club. But you have to enjoy these moments, man. And you're not. When do you get that? When do you get Real Madrid 3-0 at your place beating them like that? That doesn't happen every day.
No.
So you are right to celebrate and have fun with it. But I agree with Posh. If we don't do the job next week, it becomes kind of a cool story note for the season. I really agree with him on this. Like, it's the money from Champions League going to the semifinals is even more important. That's just even more money to go to the PSR that gets you to buy the right striker you want. So,
see,
and I think it's probably right to agree. With the new guy that's coming with Bertie coming in, there seems to be quite a lot of excitement about a lot of potential incomings that could happen without going ahead of myself. And no, I'm not necessarily thinking Moreno is going to be the actual striker. I think he's done blimmin' well, but it probably switched to his more suited midfield position, right? Not discounting the fact he scored a few goals. I mean, we're going to have all the argument again here with Thomas Partey having a very good game today. What do we do about Thomas Partey? Does he stay? Does he go? I hear him being linked with Barcelona today.
Can I just say, before anyone, Sam, I'm sorry for interrupting. I want to say a huge hello to Laken Akunde, who is in the chat. He is a very good friend of mine from way back in the school days of when I was a sprightly youngster. He's a Man United fan, so he's not having the best of times at the moment. So, no, in all seriousness, Laken, very good to see you, sir. And yes, I will call you tomorrow.
Welcome, Laken. It's nice to have you in the chat. And if you haven't already, all of you are watching us either on Twitch or on YouTube. Can you subscribe or give us a follow on both of their platforms? Mercy Baku, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I think Sam was going to say something.
Yeah. Towards the end of the match, I know Declan Rice has scored 2 free kicks, so he's probably going to be the obvious man of the match for people give. But Thomas Partey was absolutely immense, like absolutely unbelievable that whole game. And I think it's going to be like, obviously this is the player that we knew we signed a long time ago, but that's been hampered by a lot of injuries and stuff. So for this season alone, I think he needs to have another chance of playing in this team. Because this season, it's been a season of not a lot of players that have stood out, to be fair. Your big hitters, obviously, if Saka's been injured for a while, Ødegaard's been missing most of the season, including tonight as well. So, yeah, he's been one of the most consistent players that we've had all season. So, for that and that alone, when you're really struggling, I think that deserves another chance. And yes, Jorginho is a good player, good squad player to have, but you definitely want Partey in over him. There's no questions for me at all.
And it's funny because for all the injuries that we've had during the season, Thomas Partey's been the one that's actually avoided them.
Yeah, as Sam said, he's been our most consistent player, and it's funny because when we did the watch along of the game against Atalanta and Partey gave away a penalty, I was saying because I was one of the people that defended him last season, but even I said back then, I'm not sure about Partey. I don't think he's it anymore. But ever since then, he's become one of our most consistent players. So yeah, just fair play to him, and I would probably keep him. I know it's unlikely, but I probably would keep him for another year. But I think he'll end up being more of a squad player if someone like Zubamendi or someone like that comes in. He'd be a very good option to have as a squad player next season because yes, he's getting older now, and I just think he'd be a good option to have as opposed to Jorginho, who I think he's for all he's done in his career, I think age has got the better of him.
Well, if I may follow up on that, like I think Jorginho's brain is probably one of the best in the midfield as far as that position, but the body's just not there anymore, right? And it's just Father Time just doesn't. No one knows when they're done playing the game, but he looks closer this year more. And last year he was great. I mean, this year he just looks a little bit older. The Partey thing is an interesting discussion because I've always talked when I talk to Gary and the buddies on DWTT, I'm like, look, if you're going. Because I always talk about an 11. Well, I want to build a 12 to 16 now. Like, that's what I'm looking at. And a Partey is a 12 to 16 player. I mean, I think the problem we got right now, look at the amount of hamstrings this team has had. You've had Havertz go out. You've had Saka. You've had Ødegaard had his issue obviously it was a shin injury or ankle injury on international duty. But the amount of games, like, you need to have 16 players. We have a guy on our channel that complains about, well, Arteta didn't use his 5 subs. And I'm like, go look at the bench and tell me who he would have brought on today, and that's what we need to do now is, hey, if you re-sign Partey and let's say you've got to pay, I don't know if he's on 130 a week or whatever. I mean, that cost of bringing him back for one season is a lot cheaper than purchasing another player and then bringing in those wages as well. So, the cost effectiveness, what's going to come down to is I think you could get Partey to re-sign, but someone's going to come in with an offer that might be higher than what you got. You've got to figure out whether you want to pay that amount of money because we've already got Jesus who's kind of stuck on $260 a week with the ACL. So that's something that you've got to think about. But it's a good shout to bring him back. I'm up for it. I think he's been excellent this year. I think what's pushed him is the competition of Rice, Moreno, and everybody that's been there. I think in years past, I don't think he's had that same. I think how like players can fight through injuries because they might lose their spot. I don't think he's had that same crisis level in years past that he has now. And then you're talking about Zubamendi coming in. It'd be hard to leave him off that 11 the way he's played this year. So, but good point by Posh. I agree with it.
Just saying Laken's point in the chat. Mark Goldbridge, never heard of him, says it's the board that is the reason why Arteta has not won the major honours in Europe. Well, Laken, to counter that argument, Arteta has been sufficiently backed by the board. He spent over 800 million. Yeah, he's been backed. He's got the money. So apart from Saka and Saliba and Tierney, everyone else in our squad is an Arteta player. And Martinelli, sorry. So the majority of players in our squad are Arteta signings. This team is in his image. So he's been backed. it's the issue I have with the Cronkies is that they accept fourth place as success, but that's a story for another day. That's my argument. Anyway,
could I respond to that?
Go on.
So
It's funny
I'll say
'cause
this much.
Pep said the
Go
same
ahead.
thing the other day.
So I think we just saw something different tonight compared to last year. So if we talk about last year's quarterfinal, and did you notice a difference between the teams? So like if we go to last year's quarterfinal, last year's team looked a little bit shaky, didn't seem up for the moment as far as the levels of expectation of what to bring. Whereas this year we've seen that escalation, and especially in the Champions League where they've grown in the maturity. I think the boards failed him this year with the striker. I really do believe that, especially in January. But he's been backed. But again, like my position on Arteta is he took an 8th place team, has got us into 2nd, and we're 2nd in England with no striker right now, which I think is pretty impressive. So, I mean, we all see it differently, and I get it. But to me, Arsenal season, and I know we haven't talked a lot recently, guys, I blame it down to 4 things. I blame Arteta, I blame injuries, I blame discipline, and I blame the Cronkies. I think it's a 4-headed, there's 4 different blames why things have gone that way. I just don't think anybody's more to blame than anybody else. I mean, look at the discipline issues, like the yellow cards that were turned into red cards, but that's just kicking the ball away at certain moments. The injuries, the untimely injuries, Arteta's inability to change the squad based on we only had 4 attacking players. You're still running 3 up top. You should change it to 2 up top. I mean, there's certain things that I can blame him on, and the Cronkies failed us in January. But we're about to potentially go to the semifinal of the Champions League, so it could all be forgiven. But that's my point. I know we haven't talked in a long time, so
yeah.
No,
But that's
it's all good, mate. It's all good. I've got a question for you all. A lot of questions were asked about Jakub Kiwior tonight. How would he cope in a massive game against Real Madrid? I'd like your thoughts. Go around. Bush, Spence, Sam.
Yeah, I'll go first. So very early on, I thought he wouldn't have done so because there was a bit of a moment with Mbappe early on in the game. And that was against Kiwior. And I thought, oh, God, if it's going to be like this the whole game, we're in for a long night. But actually, there were I thought he held his own quite well. I mean, he kept a clean sheet against Real Madrid, so he did do quite well. But yeah, he didn't do as bad as I thought he was going to be. We were all saying, oh, yeah, Kiwior should start. He did well against Everton. And as I kept saying, there's Everton, with all due respect to them. Shout out to the Toffee Blue cast for appearing on that podcast. And then there's Real Madrid. Different teams, with all due respect to Everton. But no, I thought he did all right. Moment early on with Mbappe that scared me a bit, but for what it's worth, he held his own quite well. Whether he does it on a consistent basis remains to be seen.
So, yeah, when I saw Kiwior's name, I tell you what I would have done, and obviously I'm not the manager, but I would have started Ben White at right back. I would start Saliba, Timber, and then Skelly. That's what I would have done. But here's the thing about Kiwior, and I'll say this: I still think Kiwior is a decent player. And look at what we paid for Gabriel, look at what we paid for Saliba, and look what we paid for Kiwior. It's about the same amount of money. I think it was about the 20 to 25 million pound range. That's what I would have ran with. It worked out. But you got it. So at this stage too, and here's Kiwior's on a job edition, right? Interview right now, shall we say, right? He's auditioning for his job in this squad next season. With Gabriel being out, it's his opportunity. It's his to lose, really. Do I feel confident about having him start at the Bernabeu? I do at this point. I do, and I give you why. Because I think the players around him are going to elevate his level. The Salibas, the Timbers. I don't know if you're going to start Skelly at left back down there. I don't know. I guess the only other thing you could do is if you move Timber to center back and you start Skelly, but I don't know if you're just going to go Skelly Kiwior in the Bernabeu. I don't know if you can do that. But that being said, I think he's done well. I think he's done well. I mean, there was a shaky moment earlier in the game where Madrid could have gone up 1-0. We're having a different discussion tonight, but he did what he had to do, and we got support. So it'll be interesting. I don't know. It's not my decision to make. So that's my cop out.
Yeah, I'm I'm pleased it's not my decision to make. As well. I don't think he got I think he got really lucky this evening, in the sense of that Mbappe and that attacking front line didn't really get much of a look in, past a couple of chances that we kind of gifted to them, in Saka passing it back to players and us cocking up a little bit. Didn't really get a massive amount of trouble for our back four. There wasn't really much danger. It was never in massive amounts of danger. So I guess this is my caveat, is that we didn't really, although there was nothing that I can pick out as particularly bad, there's also nothing that I can particularly pick out that was amazing. So yeah, it's one of those ones, because he didn't really have to do much. Neither did Saliba. Neither did Timber, really. Neither did Skelly. They didn't really have to do a massive amount in order to keep Real Madrid out tonight. So I guess that's my devil's advocate to it, is that actually we didn't really see much of it. We didn't have to see much of any of our defence. So yeah, it's a completely different environment to the Emirates and the Bernabeu. It's completely different environment. They've been at that stadium and won there so many times in tricky circumstances. I don't know. I don't know anything much about Real Madrid, so I don't know if they've ever been 3-0 against them. They probably have, and they've probably overcome it as well. So it's one of those ones. We need to make sure that we know full well that we don't have this won. I don't think we would, but there's not a single person that should think, right, we've got this one, or we've got 1 foot in the next round, or anything like that. It's got to be, look, yes, we've got this lead, but that lead can soon change if at half time, like Posh said, by some freak, they're 2-0 up. That's completely different then. So it's one of those ones. You really want to be excited that it's happened, and I am. But also, I don't want to be too excited, because, it could all turn into a nightmare very quickly.
So I suppose the next question is, what do we think when we come into the weekend? Because I believe it's Brentford, right? Now, clearly, obviously, the Premier League's gone, but still, I think it's so important to at least maintain our position and keep building wins up. So how far do we change from what we've seen this evening to go in for the Brentford game? It's tough, isn't it?
Oh, it is a tough one, because whilst the game against Brentford seems quite irrelevant at the moment, considering we've just come back from this incredible high just now, I've said before, look, the Premier League title race was gone a very long time ago, but that's another story. Damage limitation is also important as well, because don't forget that if we lose against Brentford and Nottingham Forest win against whoever they've got over at the weekend, then the gap between second and third becomes 2 points. And don't forget, we've still got Liverpool at Anfield to play. We've still got Newcastle at home to play. Even though they've fallen off a little bit, we've still got home to Bournemouth, and they like to give us a good showing as well. So we've still got a few competitive games to go. But I would definitely rest Saka and Rice, I think, are players that we can rest against Brentford. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't want just don't get any more injuries. I wouldn't. Saka and Rice, even though Brentford is actually quite tough. Buomo, Visser in attack. Yeah, I'd still rest key players, Rice in particular.
Yeah, I was going to try to pull up the lineup that Sam sent earlier to see who was on the bench and potentially who didn't play, because this is a game where I give Zinchenko a shout. All right, so I'm looking at it right now. I'm Raya, White's playing, Saliba's playing. I'm going to play Kivior again. I might put in. I'm hoping if Calafiore can come back, maybe, probably not. Tierney might get a start. I tell you who looked really good. I'm a big Tierney fan, but for a guy that was kind of frozen out of this club and he's coming, I'm glad Arteta's playing him again, because I just wish we could have had a healthy Kieran Tierney. No one crosses the ball better than him at times, man. Just elite on this club. You could start Jorginho, give Rice a break. The Partey thing is interesting because Partey's on a yellow from tonight. So I don't know if the yellows go over to the semifinals, so he still can play. You're going to play in Weary probably, right? And then Saka. Is Saka probably, I don't know, is Odegaard play? You got to make some tough calls, because I still think you have enough quality there to potentially still get your 3 points. The only club that really bothers me below us is Forest, because I think they still seem pretty good. Chelsea seems inconsistent. City's missing Holland.
Villa and Newcastle are teams we should be watching out for if they continue winning.
Especially Newcastle.
Absolutely agree.
So I don't think you can completely bend the game off. But hey, look, if you're up 3-0 on aggregate, why can't you go for it on the weekend? You should be able to. I think you set yourself with enough success to go for both games. You gave yourself enough lead in the Real Madrid game that, why can't you take some chances? But I agree with Posh on this. Don't get another injury. I mean, obviously you can't really control that, but give Zinchenko a game, Jorginho a game, keep Odegaard in there and worry, and you're at home, right? So you should be able to get the win.
I mean, it has happened a couple of times now, actually, but Zinchenko in midfield.
Yep.
Instead of Rice, and have Partey as the 6, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you've got to be sensible, haven't you? You've just got to make sensible decisions. There's no point in going, Zinchenko can play here, there, or everywhere. You've just got to be sensible. So in positions that we have another player there, i.e. Tierney, you change out somebody that's going to be a 100% starting for you, whoever that is. You take them out and put in Tierney and give him a full 90 minutes. Zinchenko's not played. Where you can fit him in if it makes sense, take another player out that you're definitely going to play, put him in. Jorginho, put him in for
Partey, in my opinion.
Or Rice, either one of those. You've just got to use the slim pickings that we've got now. You can see tonight, looking at our bench, literally Trossard, Tierney, that's it. Yeah. So, yes, we're not blessed with a full squad like lots of the others will have. So you just need to be sensible. You need to take a player out that you want to play and put someone in that can play there. I don't know. That's what you've got to be thinking. Trossard in for Martinelli. These just simple changes you can make. That's not because you don't want to. The flip side to that is you don't want to go silly like you did the other day. Make all these changes and then lose to Brentford and halt your confidence, so you don't want to do that either. So it's just taking those sensible decisions to take players out and put somebody in. It doesn't need to be. It's not like rocket science, is it? It's just looking at your team. Right, who do I definitely want to play? Changing the players that definitely want to play, and giving them the limited amount of time that they think they need to be ready for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do agree. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. You get some of that core of the side. So I'm thinking Raya, Saliba, Kivior, the people in the middle, Odegaard and Marino. I probably start the changes I make just based on what we've seen tonight and seeing what's happened, because Timber went off. Maybe we'll put Ben White back in at right back. I might change Lewis Skelly just to freshen it up on the other side so we don't overrun him. Then we are looking perhaps at Zinchenko. Perhaps we are looking at Jorginho. I like the idea of Trossard coming in for Martinelli, and I'd probably put Ethan in for Saka. Then we're not overrunning Saka, because I was concerned I see him go down just before he got substituted,
Yeah.
Saka. I do think it is probably just cramped, but let's be fair. He's just done 74 minutes today. That's a lot of minutes for someone not played for months up till the last couple of weeks. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. So what I'm thinking is there's enough of a spine in there still to do well. We've got good players in there. We're not discounting, not discrediting what Brentford have got either, but still going out hopefully with a strong lineup and still trying to get a win. And then let's see what happens in the Bernabeu on Wednesday. Anyone want to jump in after that?
Yeah, I think it's. I think if there's a game that it's a tough balance, right? Because you still want to maintain your position, but I mean, you got Real Madrid on the ropes. So I guess my thought is, if you're going to make rotation, the players are going to play on Tuesday, do a 30-minute a 20 to 30 minute cameo just to keep the freshness going. And hey, maybe you get a couple quick goals. I think winning a game like that against that club with that heritage, that history, the fallout effect is really good. I think it's going to create some confidence. I mean, I don't think of anybody outside of the moment we said it were shaky for Kivior. Like, I don't have anybody I really want to gripe about tonight. Right? I feel pretty good about everybody's performance. And the one that I'm really proud of is Skelly at 18 years old. I couldn't have done that at 18. Just think about the mentality and the, I guess the ability to just step into a big moment and play it in that inverted role. And we've talked about it, Lee, in the past, how much we hate it. But it's a lot of responsibility for an 18-year-old to understand where you are on the field. And I think some of his fouls have come from that role where he gets caught out. But just a big moment. The Brentford game, I don't know, man. Like, this is about as good as you're going to get. It would be nice if we got a fourth goal when you're up 4-0 going to the Bernabeu, but 3-0 is a really good start. And maybe go get the 3 points this weekend and who knows, 1-1 draw at the Bernabeu and go through. So, but, if you get the win against Brentford on Sunday and Wednesday you don't go through, I think it's Wednesday or bust. Mm-hmm. All right. So it's going to be a difficult balancing game. And it's kind of like the thing with Kivior. Like, he's the man that's up right now. So we have to either fail with him or succeed with him. So it's the cards we have drawn at this point. So.
Just to confirm, it is Saturday, the Brentford game, 5:30 kickoff. So, okay. and actual fact, that's not a bad thing, because then you've got the extra day to recover. I'm going to see if I can see what our friends in Madrid are doing over the weekend, if I can spot it without taking too much time. La Liga.
I know there's a relegation team, a team that's in relegation battle. That was what the TV said. So I don't know exactly who.
It's not Saturday.
No, it's exactly what I'm looking for. They've got Alves on Sunday.
Okay.
I'm just
so
really
got an extra day's rest.
I'm just really thankful that we don't have another 12:30 game, because 12:30 games have the possibility of ruining your whole weekend just when it started.
I know what you mean.
That it's not a 12:30 again.
Those are 7:30 games over here, Sam, in the morning.
That's tough going. And feel for my brother who's in Australia as well, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
12-hour difference. That's not easy. Bless him.
I think I would stay in bed for that one. I don't think I'd bother getting up for Saturday.
It's hard.
Even that being said, it is a TV game. We'll have a think about it, and it might be doable for watching potentially, but we'll talk off stream about that. Is there anything else anyone wants to add to tonight's stream before we get out of here?
I'm kind of coming around to the realization that it might not actually be a dream and it was real what I've just watched over the last 90 minutes. I'm still
Beautiful.
not 100% sure, but I'm halfway there.
He's living on a prayer.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I think I'm just glad we're not going to have I'm just glad the narrative's not see Arsenal aren't good enough. They can't do this. Arteta this. I don't want to hear it because I find those conversations about Arteta in or Arteta out very boring. I really just do at this point. So I'm glad we're not having a conversation about that tonight. Both sides of the coin I'm just like, all right, guys. So like, I'm glad we had a good result. We can move on. You know, that's really it. So
We just got to get the job done in the second leg and try not to avoid any early goals if possible.
Absolutely. And in fact, if we can get an early goal at the Bernabeu,
yeah,
we'll be laughing. But let's see. Let's not hold your horses, Lee. Let's get there first. Well, look, I think this is part of the show where I got to say thank you very much for my beautiful panel coming on. It's so lovely to see a couple of returns underneath us. It's been a very long time, gentlemen, and I appreciate you being here. So thank you very much. Have either of you two got anything coming up in the recent future coming up? Anything upcoming?
I guess in about an hour and a half, I'm supposed to go do another one of these. But I have a busy night, so I may have to see with Gary if I'm going to be able to do the full hour and a half. But I do Thursday nights. I try to do an NFL show, but it's been kind of hard just based on work requirements. But I usually do DWTT on Monday and Saturdays. It's Saturday 3 p.m. your time, and then Mondays at 12:30 midnight. You guys are already asleep at that time, but that's really all I do at this.
You think I sleep?
I think you do, Lee. I think you do. I know with your knee injury, you're probably not sleeping as much, but normally you're probably asleep.
I'm happy to report I'm doing better.
That's good.
I passed my fitness test. I got
made a better recovery than Tomiyasu.
Hey, thank you very much for that.
Poor Tommy.
Absolutely. Posh, have you got anything upcoming or any appearances that you want to make a shout out to?
I have no idea at the moment. I promised Carl that I'd come back on his channel because, and we're going to pull back the curtain here, he actually asked me if I'd like to come on his channel for the watch along that he did. And I said, Carl, greatest respect, I can't be on watch alongs. You know this, Lee. Even though one is a PG channel and the other you can F and blind
it's
on.
It's definitely not. Yeah.
But
I just love the call, by the way.
Yeah. So hopefully, I promised that I'd make an appearance on his channel again. I don't know when, but hopefully soon. Yeah, that's about it, really.
Thank you very much. And Sam, we've had a double stream of you. Anything you want to plug that we didn't do earlier on?
I'm just pleased my camera's held out for a good 30 minutes, to be honest.
I know. It's nice to see you. You're boosting our ratings.
That doesn't happen that often nowadays. It's just quite worrying in that we've got a stream next week with someone very important.
We have. This is very true.
It is. I'm going to pass it over to you, actually. It's not been announced on the WrestleDogs channel yet. So
no.
This is an exclusive.
Well,
that's away from.
I'll say this. Well, Sam was privileged enough to speak to Andrew Hodgkinson over from Cultaholic Wrestling a number of months ago. I'll be doing another wrestling interview for someone quite high profile next week. I will leave you as a teaser, but check out our friends on WrestleDogs for when that comes out. I am really looking forward to this. It's going to be good fun. But that, I think, quite neatly wraps the stream up on just about an hour. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. What a great result for Arsenal. Thank you all who have been watching in the chat, whether you're here live or on demand. before we head out, make sure we're hitting that like button. Make sure we're subscribed on YouTube. Make sure you're following us over on the Twitch channel. Thank you very much for watching. Always listen to me when I predict the scores, because you'll go far. Thank you for watching. Come on, the Arsenal. I'll see you soon.